Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Words on Wellness, the place where you come to be inspired to live a healthier, more fulfilling, and balanced life. My guest today is someone whose journey of over 25 years in the corporate world features a career marked by strategic ingenuity, transformative leadership, as well as a deep commitment to community and mentorship. I am so excited that we finally get to have her on the show, the head of corporate affairs, brand and marketing, Kenya and Africa at the Standard Chartered Bank, Joyce Kibe. Karibu sana, Joyce.
Thank you so much, Jerry. It's really a pleasure to be here today. It's been many months of planning this, but I'm so happy that I'm finally here.
So am I, and thank you so much for for making the time to be here. And yes, you're right; it has taken lots of lots of planning, but I'm glad that we're finally here. So welcome to the show, and I'd like us to hit it right off with getting a bit of context, because yes, a lot of people have seen you now and know you as this very well put together individual. But I'd like us to go back to the Joyce that was probably 6, 7 years old, growing up in Eastlands. Take us through that, your childhood, and some of the values that you picked up in your childhood that you have seen applying in your life and in your different roles.
Thanks. So I grew up in a family of 6. We are 6 of us, 4 girls and 2 boys. In Eastlands in Harambee Estate. I went to Harambee Primary School, and my parents still live in Harambee Estate. And so most people would identify with Boroboro, and that was and is still my hood. So for me, my journey has been relatively, a child growing up. We are 6 of us. We are playing the usual games, traditional like kati, bladder, PE. I wanted to make sure I played netball, football, you name it. I was always a sporty person. At one point in time, I started, I had asthma, and I used to be exempted from so many sports, and I did not like it. That was primarily in high school. I was like, oh no, now I'll not be able to. But then one doctor, and that's Dr. Gikonyo, told me, please just go and swim. Just go and swim. That's the remedy I'll give you. That's a medicine. I went, I swam, and I learned how to breathe. And suddenly my asthma went away, and I never used my inhalers again. Fast forward, campus, I was always into working out, whether running in the field or just doing some gym work. That was me. And a lot of times, I must say, my pocket money used to be paying for gym membership. I always remember that. It's either paying for gym membership or going clubbing. That's what I used to use my pocket money for.
So, is this in college?
Yes.
You were very focused when people were saving up to go to Kani.
I agree. And when I was in high school, my mother used to come and pick me from school. I had a dental appointment conveniently on Saturday so that I could go and watch rugby matches in the afternoon, Floodies, if you remember. So really, really focused around just making sure I have fun. But at the same time, I was always into fitness and exercise quite a bit. Can I say I've always been, into exercise and fitness? Fitness, yes, but not necessarily watching my nutrition. So my weight was always up and down. And I just had to make sure that I look after it by exercising. Then fast forward much later, I discovered that exercise actually just puts me together. And what do I mean by that? There's lots of stress in the world, be it in the workplace, be it, raising a family. Just a life does a number on you. And I discovered once I do exercise, you just get all these nice endorphins, feel good hormones, and it just puts me together. And I started going to the gym every morning, Monday to Saturday, and resting on Sunday. And it just became a way of life for me. So I've been going to the gym for the longest time. I can, many, many years. It's a way of life for me.
Oh, I love that. Now, You've taken us through a roller coaster of things that have happened, and
Yes.
I want us to sort of go back slightly
Yes.
to high school. Now, you mentioned that in high school, or is it in primary school, you developed asthma?
Yeah.
And the doctor encouraged you to swim, and
Yes.
that is how you were able to deal with that asthma. Which primary school did you go to? And also the high school, and I also wanted to hear more about the games. Were you active in games, and which ones were you active in?
Okay. So I was in Harambee Primary School, really pleasant school. It's still there till today. And another thing is, in high school, I was in Pangani Girls for 1 year. Then after that, I really missed my sister quite a bit. She was in my Girls Nairobi. So I joined her, and Pangani used to give us 2 packets of biscuits and juice. And I thought that was not right. You should carry anything to school. And my sister, I used to look at her like she's been bought for all this shopping, and me, I just have 2 packets of biscuits. So I wrote to the headmistress of Moi Girls School, and she took my letter, and she actually admitted me in the following year. That was second form. And one thing I promised myself is I'd work hard and make sure I excel and not let her down. And I was very happy I did that. So making promises to myself, I'll say that because it's something that I am very fond of, committing something and delivering on that. And in high school, I played all kinds of sports. I remember at one point I was doing tennis, lawn tennis. I was big on hockey as well. And then when I got to campus, I started doing, maybe more gym and just running a bit here and there. So I was just trying to experiment everything. I wouldn't say that I was a star or, in which team. But one of the things I knew is I just wanted to keep fit all the time. Yeah. Yeah.
And take us through your life in college, because it looks like that's at that point, that's when you became very focused on the way that you wanted to live your life. Which campus did you go to, and what led you? Because for a lot of people, gym is not usually the first thing that they will think about when it comes to fitness. But it's interesting that you took that very early on, and I'm interested in knowing like what informed that decision to take up working out at the gym.
So I think one of the things that inspired me to do that was a hobby. I love dancing. So music, dancing, that's it. To the extent that I knew my parents would never ask me. I'd always be caught because I went clubbing. So in the morning, you're coming back, then you're caught. And one of the things as you're practicing to dance, you're like, oh my God, I have to be fit so that I can go dancing on Friday. So I was like, let me join the gym. And there was this gym next to my house. My parents were like, okay, we'll pay for you in campus again. I was like, let me look for ways and means to just make sure I get to a gym. So we formed several girls in campus, just forming a club in terms of this is what we'll be doing, strength training as well as gym. By that time, I didn't know it was called strength, but yeah, we're doing something quite a bit. So that's when I started, and I made sure that I'd be very, very intentional about making sure that I work out to be fit so that I could go clubbing. Yes, that was mainly the main objective.
All right.
Yeah.
And so even as you transitioned from college into the workspace, I think from what I have read of your bio is that living actively has been a part of your life just after college. And what I noticed is that you at some point took up boxing. Yes. So tell us about.
Oh my! It remains one of my most favorite exercises, kickboxing. And I even found a club in the US one time. I'd gone to see my relatives, and it's called I Love Kickboxing. They have a franchise in the States. I hope it's still there. So kickboxing, you work out each and every part of your body. And I was doing that at Maisha. And I loved the class so much because after 1 hour of serious kickboxing, you'd lose quite a number of calories. And for me, it was something else. It left me on a high. And I was doing it, for quite a period of time. Went to the States, continued with that. That was just on holiday. And I was going for these classes. And now I was doing kickboxing barefoot, now using the weight. And it was really, really good. I really enjoyed myself. It was really, really good. I stopped kickboxing after I left my Maisha. That was during COVID. I took a break because the gyms were closed by that time. But it's one of those sports. If someone told me there's a kickboxing class here today, I will come for it because I love it. And I know it will leave me with such positive vibes at the end of it. Yeah.
Speaking of the COVID period, that's around the time that you decided to take up a birthday challenge.
Yes.
So what was the motivation behind you taking up a challenge, or was it running every day for 30 days?
Yes.
And how was that like?
Oh my. So if I may just backtrack a bit, when COVID hit, I was doing, what are they? Shanti T40. Yeah, Shanti, it's, he had these videos, DVDs actually, and it was also on YouTube. So I used to go on the TV and then I'd put it and then I exercise. But I was just staring on the screen, and I'm an extrovert. I want to talk to people, socialize with people. And every day I was just looking and I'm like, I am so bored. I just need to get some other humans to talk to. I need to socialize with people, gym work and everything. So I was really getting bored of doing the same thing. Yes, you burn calories, but it's not exciting. So I decided to go to Arboretum. And I told myself, at least I'll see some birds, some movement, there might be someone with a puppy, there might be monkeys because there are monkeys at Arboretum. But I said, let me go. I did not like running at all. So at most I could do is, let's say, 100 meters. I stop. I'm too heavy. I can't run. I am just too heavy. I can't run. And so I started like a joke, and I started slowly. I could do 100 meters today, 200 meters. Today, and then I walk the rest of the way. And suddenly I started just gradually increasing, like my running more and walking less. And then just became a way of life, and said every day. And I was actually even doing it till Sundays. And for me, it was a way of just let me reconnect back with nature, reconnect back with humans, and just overcome this COVID period. And that's how I started running. Then come my birthday, I remember that was in 2021. I told myself, what can I do nicely for my birthday is to mark. And I started running every day. And I was very sure that probably I might not meet the challenge or I'll get, injuries. But I did it, and I was super proud of myself, really proud of myself. By that time, I did not know what pace is. All I cared about is how many steps have I done and how many kilometers have I done. I was just running, no formula, no nothing. So I was just doing it. Yeah, that's what I was doing. Yeah.
Great. So I resonate a lot as you were talking about what COVID did to you. I was just smiling because for extroverts, we really suffered during COVID because that confinement and not being able to tap into other people's energy. I think that is what keeps us going. So I think even for me during that time, just working out in the house wasn't really working.
Exactly.
And so I remember I actually had an altercation with the police at the Naivasha Road.
Yeah.
So many of us were turning out to go and run, and the police were becoming very concerned about the big numbers because you're supposed to be in isolation, and then suddenly everyone now wants to go running because, as you said, all the gyms were closed, all the other places that you can go to work out are closed.
Yes.
And so I remember just having running with the cops, and they're like, "Amfai kuja kukimbia hapa, nyendeni nyumbani." And I'm like, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, but from what you say, you sound like someone who is very self-driven.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever you set your mind to, you go ahead and do that. And from what you've talked about, I don't know whether this is a challenge that you had someone with you, or is it something that you were waking up every day and just going running alone?
I was actually going alone. I was just going alone and just doing it. Yes. So for me, it was just being self-driven, Then I'd tell someone, maybe this is what I'm doing. And then they'd say, I'm doing the gym. And the challenge was, you do your gym, I do my running. Let's compare notes. And that's all. I have a friend who till today, we compete, and on Saturdays, one day where we do serious workout. So she will do F45, you know, the F45.
What is the F45?
F45 is like a lot of strength training, as well as, what can I call it? I don't know the right name. I'll give you the right name. But it's a lot of strength training, using your body weight quite a bit. And then after that, she comes for the dance class. We do a dance class, Afrobeats at Current Country Club. So I run, she does the F45 class. And then we meet. It's called CrossFit. CrossFit is basically what it is.
You know, I almost mentioned it.
Yes, it's CrossFit.
But I was like, maybe that's not the one you're talking about.
Exactly. And by the time we're done with that class, we've burnt some good calories between the two of us. And then midday, we have our breakfast. So we've done a serious workout for quite a long time, maybe 3 hours in total on Saturday. So we push hard. And we motivate each other, and none of us can miss their workout. And I like that because we feel like we've earned the prize. We've earned that breakfast. Then we just chit chat, and then it's a day. Yeah. So that's the motivation I get from friends, and also being self-driven. Yeah.
Okay. And talking of friends and community, I've seen the value of community and being part of a bigger community of people with similar interests, and also the importance of having a coach. And I'd like us to talk about that experience, because I know that in 2023 you joined the dance class.
Yes.
I think everyone who goes through Dedan class, shout out to you, Dedan, comes out very different, because, you were talking about your running experience and how you began. You didn't even know what pace was, and then things like that.
Yes.
But so I'd like you to talk about what that experience was like, and I'd also like you to talk about what you were working towards. Yes.
So I think I started my challenge with Dedan in 2022, and he always enjoys me. He said I did 20% of the 12 weeks. I used to complain bitterly about his sessions. I'm like, oh, it should be according to someone's body type. It can't be one shoe fits all. I was really whining and moaning quite a bit. And funny thing, 23, 24 was my best year. And I just went for all the challenges that he had, the 12-week programs that he had. And all I wanted to do is I wanted to be disciplined in my running and understand running, what it was, and just the various ways of running. Whether, let's say, you decide to do easy run, what do you need to do? And if you're doing, what's fast finish? I didn't understand all those things. So I think the first thing I did, it was just to invest in a proper watch and everything. And once I invested in a good watch, and then I started running. And yeah, of course, you start with a low pace. And of course, because I'm very competitive with myself, I really wanted to make sure that the next time I'm doing it, I'm improving. And you see, as much as I did my birthday challenge of running for 31 days, it was not necessarily the right thing, because your body needs to rest, at least one day of rest. And I was also not like doing strength training that time. So with Dedan's coaching class, you mix strength training and running, and one day is of rest. So for me, that was just amazing. And I ended up shaving my half marathon by about 20 minutes when I did the last one. I was really proud, and I was bang on with his prediction. So shout out to Dedan. He's amazing. He pushes you very silently, but I'd not be where I am today if it wasn't for Coach Dedan. Yeah.
Yes, I totally agree with you. I've also gone through his programs. I think the very I think the second or the third half marathon that I was doing in Kilimanjaro, I signed up for his program. And yes, he is he will he's tough.
Yes.
But I think that follow through and just that discipline and keeping you consistent and keeping you focused is what really helps you in realizing that running, yes, there's a technical aspect to it and there's a science to it that you actually learn to appreciate. So shout out to you, Dedan. Now I'd like us to sort of shift gears a bit and go into motherhood. Okay, I know that you have a son. So tell us about your journey into motherhood and with a particular focus on the way that you've been able to find or to bring in an aspect of sports as a way of the two of you bonding. Yes.
Okay. I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm a proud mother of a 17-year-old man. I love him to bits. And I tried to get him to run with me and to get some interest in running, but he doesn't like running at all. He joins me, he beats me, he'll just tell me, Mom, this is easy peasy. So he prefers the gym and he prefers football and rugby. But the good thing about it is he's very conscious about just making sure he works out, eats right as well, and incorporates fitness. So we're always comparing notes. Let's say if I'm going to work out, he wants to go to the gym and all that. And sometimes we'll actually combine where we'll do a strength training with him. So I'd say it's really helped me bond with my son. I know what his passions are in terms of what he likes as a matter of sports, and he knows I like running. So sometimes he has no option but to accompany mommy on her runs, or sometimes because it's sometimes work. And he actually enjoys it, says this is an easy run. And then the most important thing is he's also able to teach me some aspects of strength training that I was not aware of. And also challenging me to lift more sometimes. I'm like, I can't. This is too heavy. Or I don't want to be a bodybuilder. Like, no, Mom, this is going to work this muscle. So yeah, he's always challenging me. So it's amazing, really amazing to have someone to help you and support you. And the two of you are doing something that's right. Yeah.
And something that you both enjoy.
Exactly.
I really love that. Now, has there been certain values that you bonding in this way you've been able to identify or even instill certain values? The reason I'm asking is because I have three children. I have a 14-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a 9-year-old. And one of the things that I have learned, it's a lesson that they see it happening even as we do it, is when we are hiking. And that aspect of delayed gratification. So I tell them we will not rest. So if we're doing, so the last 2 weeks ago, we did 17 kilometers of walking, and that was tough. Okay, our aim was 15, but then we didn't track the distance very well, so by the time we're heading back home, there was an extra 2 kilometers. But what I had told them is that we will only rest and take snacks at half that whatever. So initially we were supposed to do 7.5, but then we extended, and so now that lesson of delayed gratification is now where it really came through, because when we finally sat and we're having the snacks, and so I could see that, and so I was just curious to learn if there are certain values that you've been able to use or been able to apply, or when you're with your son, that come as a result of you to bonding through sports and active living.
I'd say I see it through his football as an example. In his journey of growing up, he's played mini sports, and sometimes he's like, I am not into football today, tomorrow I'm into football or rugby, something else. But I've seen him just be very consistent with his football. Every day he will wake up, he'll get his boots and he'll go and play. And then he'll come back and say, I didn't play a good game today, or I did play a really good game and I scored and everything. And I can see how excited he is if he has a good game. If he doesn't have a good game, we're like, okay, so what happened here? What do you think? And then sometimes it tells me, Mama, I need to go back to the gym because I was not so fast enough. I need to build on my speed and everything. So I'm like, okay, is that the treadmill or what is that? Then he decides. So I'm seeing him incorporating running, and I'm like, you see, you still need to do some cardio to be able to play your football pretty well. So in that way, he's like, if he combines various things, then he's going to excel in his football. And the biggest learning I can say is being able to focus on one and doing it super well, which is football in his case. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. That aspect of discipline, even waking up
Exactly.
in the
Yes.
morning
Yeah.
and deciding today I'm going for football and there's nothing that is going to stop me from doing that.
Exactly.
That's really
or even
important.
wearing a raincoat and going to play. You're like, okay, you're going to play in this? Yes, I am going
in
to.
this weather.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So we'll go into your various leadership roles. You have held various leadership roles, not just in Kenya, but also in Nigeria, in Zimbabwe, and you were telling me a short stint in the UK.
Yes.
At what point in your education did you have that aha moment of this is what I want to be doing, for the rest of my life, and this is what I'm passionate about? How did you find your passion in brand, in corporate affairs, brand, and marketing?
Okay, cool. So I think when I was applying for roles, that was in campus 4th year, I did accounting. I go and do an interview. I made it to PwC partner level. And this partner tells me, Joyce, you have the gift of the gab. Please don't do accounting. I did accounting in campus and CPAs. Please do not do accounting. You have the gift of the gab. So I'm looking at him, really? I've studied so hard. But then deep down, I knew I only studied to prove to my friends that I could make it. They used to think I'm a joker because I liked to party. So they never thought I'd turn out to be anything. So they used to say, you can't do the hard stuff, which was accounting then. But deep down, I enjoyed marketing more than accounting. And when he told me that, I said, you know what? Let me follow his advice. So I changed my CV overnight and I applied for marketing roles. And I started with British American Tobacco as a management trainee in marketing. I had not done a degree in marketing, I'd done in accounting. So during the course of my career, I made sure I did my master's in marketing and I pivoted my way into marketing. So it's just that strength. First, you have the gifts of the gab, as you told me. And then on top of that, you do exciting, passionate things that actually drive impact and you're able to build brands and also maximize visibility. So all in all, I'm having the best time of my life by combining now corporate affairs, which is basically communications, then brand and marketing, and also looking after sustainability. Yes.
Great. So let us focus on your current role, which is head of corporate affairs, brand and marketing, Kenya and Africa at Standard Chartered Bank, where you joined in 2021.
Correct.
Yes. Take us through how has the last 4 years been?
The 4 years have been very exciting. So I joined looking after Kenya and East Africa. Now I'm looking after Kenya and Africa. I have a couple of other markets, 10 more markets that I oversee. It's been very, very exciting. And I think for me, the proudest moments I have working at Standard Chartered is the marathon, which I'm sure everyone knows about it. We're entering our 22nd year. Liverpool Football Club, which of course won the Premier League this year, and just driving impact across the communities that we serve, and then just making sure that we deliver really, really superior product propositions to our clients. Yeah.
Great. And you've come to the heart of the matter, the Stanchart Marathon. It's something, it's one of those annual highlights for those of us in the running community, and even anyone else who's actually interested in active living. Because what I have noticed is that somehow marathons are able to draw even someone who's not doesn't run, and it has sort of become a way of people coming together and doing something meaningful. And so I'd like us to talk about the Stanchart Marathon. Now, the 20th, the planning and organizing of the 20th edition of the Stanchart Marathon, there are quite a number of things that you implemented. Take us through those and what are some of those things that sort of shifted the way that the marathon thinks about who its audience is and who its market is and its impact in society.
Okay. So we celebrated our 20th edition in 2023. And we've been here for all those years, and we wanted to just walk the journey with all our marathon participants, our marathon fans. So what we did is first we went back and looked for these runners, and we looked for runners who have been running for the last 20 years. That was in 2023. We got all the jerseys for the marathon. So we got people to bring their medals as well as the jerseys. We also got people whose birthday, who were born on that particular day. So they were doing testimonials around it. And then on top of that, we reached out to partners and stakeholders who wanted to be part of this journey. And we got really good response whereby everyone wanted to be involved with the marathon. On top of that, that is when we also signed up with the World Road Race label. We wanted to get certified. So we knew we were taking a big risk in terms of they were coming to check whether we'd be certified. But we said, this is the year that we want to make a mark by being recognized as a World Road Race label. And we did get that certification. So for us, it was our biggest marathon after those 20 years. About 22,000 people came for that marathon. Really good, really successful. And for us, it was a big mark, just making sure we thank the community for being part of our journey for all those years. We started with only 500 runners, you can imagine. And now this is a run that has 22,000 plus people coming to run. We used to close many roads in Nairobi because it used to be done in CBD, South Sea, you name it. But now we've concentrated in one area and just want to give our participants a great experience. Yeah.
Yes. And the route is something that for those who've participated in the previous, when the route was in the CBD, as you've mentioned, and I think, I don't know whether you want to go into the dynamics of why that changed from the CBD to go to the Southern Bypass, but I think a lot of the sentiments that those who have done both routes is that the CBD one was quite scenic. You actually discovered the city through the marathon. But of course, I think from what I have heard is that there were very many concerns that were raised, especially by the religious communities about those who are not participating in the marathon not being able to move around the city as much. And the new route, at the Southern Bypass, there have also been sentiments that have been shared by those in the, my friends about the route. But I think looking at being able to bring together community, I think that's one thing that the running community that Stanchart Marathon has been able to do very well. And I'll just talk about the 2024. That was last year's, the last year's edition, because there are very many fasts that, very many achievements that you were able to get last year. And I think I'd like you to talk about collaborating with running clubs, because I think that was huge last year. The number of participants that you get, and I see that you had 1.5 million views on YouTube. Because what I have seen is that the marathon has continued to grow, not just in terms of participation, but also the number of sponsors. I think last year you could talk about the number of sponsors that you were able to bring on board. Please take us through that.
Okay, cool. I think the first thing I will do is delve on feedback. One of the things we do for every marathon is to listen and take all the feedback that's coming through from our marathon participants. So one of the things they told us about the route was basically because of there many road closures. So many people were, saying, I'm affected. I can't go where I can't go to church. I can't go. you can't move. There were many, many roads. So we're like, where is it going to be as in terms of being disruptive? It would be very minimal. And that's why we explored other routes. And that's how we came up with the Southern Bypass as a route. Granted, there may be people who feel it's not still optimal. We'll keep on improving as much as possible, and just making sure, like, how do I make sure the start and the finish is really good? And when I'm on the route, I have an excellent experience. That's one thing that we're always really careful and listen to the feedback that's coming through. So 2024, we had about 40 sponsors, and this is basically selling them the proposition, the brand awareness that you'll get. How will people relate with the marathon when they see your brand? Will you get more sales, and, will it convert to something worthwhile? As an example, I was in a meeting yesterday, and they told me between October and March, that's when they have the highest sales. And that's because of the marathon. This brand maybe came to the market 3 years ago, and it's an international brand. And now the sales are jumping through the roof, and that's just because of the association with the marathon. When we associate with running clubs, we like that because, one, we get real-time feedback with professionals, people who run. So they'll tell you this route will work. This is what you need to do. And we actually get them to come in to give us advice in terms of route planning, whether it's hydration, whether it's security, getting collaboration with sponsors. Some of them even pledge themselves. And then on top of that, they even say, we will volunteer and do this for you. And for us, it's priceless. So during our planning meetings, you'll be surprised, we start planning from March until now. So already on planning mode. We work a lot with running clubs, and we keep on refining everything to do the marathon. So come the day, which is October 25th this year, 26th this year, everything will move like clockwork. But behind the scenes, very many people play, and the marathon the running clubs are one of them. In addition to that, we also make sure we go to recreational runners, even walkers. As an example, how do you want the experience to be? I'll give you a very simple example. For the 5 kilometers, which is a family fun run, the mothers were like, okay, fine, we'll come run and everything, but what about our kids? So we introduced Kidaville. So there's a really nice play place for the kids. It's a village and everything. It's really nice. It's amazing. On top of that, last year, we got one of our sponsors to put ice cream on the route, because the race starts at about 9:30, 10 o'clock. So the sun is up there, and they will get that experience. And they'll enjoy. I remember meeting one dad last year, and he said, we went for the race, the 5 kilometers. By the time we're done, Joyce, we were full. We got all these nice goodies on the route.
Yes.
And I'm like, that's what the race is supposed to be. You get a lot of water and all. The two things I wanted to also mention is, someone may wonder, what do we do with all this money? This money goes back to Future Makers. So Future Makers for us, it's a program by Standard Chartered where we want to promote the youth and people with disabilities to learn, earn, and grow. So we have various programs that we support them. So like last year, we managed to raise 44 million shillings from the marathon, and all that went to these programs. And these programs are based in Kenya with a big focus towards youth and people with disabilities. So it's really, really key for us to just say, make sure what we do for the marathon goes back to a cause. So anyone who comes to run just will be doing that. It's interesting we're having this conversation today because tomorrow we are launching our marathon for 2025.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and I'm extending my invite to you, Jerry.
Oh,
please come.
great.
It will be at Uhuru Gardens. Be there about 6:15. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. And I think one of the things that I would really commend, your team, because I'm sure you have a whole team behind you that puts all this together, is the kind of support that as runners we get on the route, the whole organizing. I've been to both local and international marathons, and not mentioning names. We're
Yes.
not, we're not throw mad on this
Yes.
show.
Good.
But compared to other marathons that I have been to and I participated in, I highly commend you for the organizing that goes into it. There's a lot of intentionality from the time that we start. Those who are doing 42 kilometers, whichever race it is, the way the route has been mapped, the way the route is marked, the support, particularly the support on the route.
Yes.
I was one of the recipients of the ice cream.
Jenny, you did 5?
No, with my children.
Oh, good. Very good.
But
yes.
it was the same route that those who were doing 10 were using.
Yes, it was.
And because I was with my children, they were like, you were giving children. So I was like, okay, my kids can have. But then I was like, can I taste? So and that had... I found that to be really good because now children want something else to focus on because they're feeling pain, they're feeling discomfort.
Exactly.
And so having ice cream, it also becomes a way of you telling them, once you finish and this is the, there's reward at the end.
That's true.
I'd also commend you on the Kiddiville. My children really enjoyed that. And I think generally just, the fact that you're able to map the route very well, there's great support, even at the village experience is good. And one of the things that I'd like us to talk about, and it's good that you've talked about the future makers and where the money goes, because it's important even as we're signing up for the marathon to know that this is going to a greater cause, and where exactly is that money going? Let's talk about this year's marathon. You've talked about the fact that you're launching tomorrow.
Yes.
What can we expect in this year's edition?
Well, this year we want to get to 30,000 participants. Last year we got 25,000 participants. We will still be on the southern bypass. And what we experience is more and more partners coming on board and a greater experience. So making sure we take care of all marathon participants. We invite everybody to come for it. We've even partnered and recognized that many people are now running. Many people have taken up the Step Up Challenge, for example.
Yes.
We have new running clubs, like, for example, big shout out to StanChart Nairobi. And these are people who are enthusiastic about their fitness journeys, whether it's by walking or running. Now, it's just making sure that we incorporate them and then listening to the feedback that we always get here on here. For us, it's just to make sure that the experience for all our marathon participants is amazing.
30,000 sounds like a very high number, but from what I heard, and maybe you can confirm, last year you had to cut off signups like 2 weeks to the event.
Oh, yes, we do.
Because you sort of reached, and so it is possible to reach that number.
Yes, and once I reach that number, I close. I just close because I don't have kids to give you. So what do? I won't exceed that number. So I make sure that we advertise. It's already open for registration. If you go to www.nairobimarathon.com, you will be able to register. Once I hit the numbers, and it's always online on our digital platforms, we tell you it is closed.
Okay.
So for each race, yes, exactly.
Yes. So for our audience, for our listeners out there and those who are watching, please go ahead and sign up because that race that you're looking for, and which slots usually go first? Is 10. It the 21 or the 10?
10 is the first one that goes first. That's the one that will be sold out. Yes.
And then 20 followed by 21.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
And
I'm sure you don't want to do 42 and you don't want to do a 5. Yes. So sign up very quickly. Yes. I've already signed up myself. Okay, so I encourage everyone, sign up. Mapema and your best. That's what I always say.
Great. Yes. So as we wrap up, let's talk about the Stanchart Running Club. You have a running club. Yes. How did that come about? And yes, how did that come about?
So this came up during COVID, and my CEO, who's Karaoke Ngari, wanted to just encourage fitness within the organization. Now that people are working from home, just wondering, are people okay in terms of even just their wellness? What are they doing? So he started the running club, and people were just given a challenge, run X number of kilometers per month. So started with very few. Now we are over 80 of us who are in the running club, and we have a monthly challenge whereby we run every month so many kilometers. Last month was 120 kilometers. This month it's 80 kilometers. You may run, you may walk, as long as you achieve those kilometers. Now, if you're a self-driven individual, you compete against yourself, and you always want to make sure you achieve those that challenge. I remember last month I was so hard pressed to get to the 120 kilometers, and I was there running at night in my room. Okay, I was just making sure I do the steps, but I did meet the target. And it's a really nice way of, one, bringing us together in terms of collaboration, two, improving our levels of fitness, and three, we meet every month for physical run. So like for the month of July, we're doing the run tomorrow during our launch. So it's really good. I also find the Standard Chartered Running Club as a source for marathon participation. So they always register for the marathon and encourage other members to join. I've seen very many lives transform in terms of just their wellness, physical fitness through the running club. And it's something I'd encourage each organization, each family, just have a way of bringing your family or your loved ones together through fitness. It's really profound. It's amazing.
That's a beautiful note to finish at.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Joyce, for coming.
Yes.
And for the amazing work that you're doing. And I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for the invitation. Tomorrow I will be there. And I wish you all the best in this year's marathon.
Thank you so much, Jerry. I wish you the very best. And thank you for giving me this opportunity. I'm really grateful.
All right.
Okay.